G'day YouTube, Joby from Oz. So Dad came over on Monday night to give us a bit of a hand. We put a little bit of body filler on and rubbed it all back. And then progressing to Tuesday, I took some extra work with the Easy Sand that Trev from Trev's blog recommends. And here you can see it's really quite nice to work. It goes down real thin, knocks out any of the little pinholes and everything like that, and I'm really quite impressed with this as a product. So yeah, thanks Trev for that shout out. It's a really good product and I really appreciate using it. Next on, I ran out of time with daylight, so I thought I'd turn my attention to the tonneau cover, and here you can see it's in a pretty bad state. There's rips and tears and all kinds of stuff on it, and I didn't really think I was going to have much luck with this, but I was given some good information from a guy that we know, Cliff, you know who you are. Cliff runs a detailing business, and I'll see if I can put a link to his website, Cliff Smith, and he's given me some really good tips about how to progress with this one. So first off, we used a microfiber cloth, which you can see here, to just wipe down and remove any of the dirt. Then we progressed to a leather cleaner product, which we used the IKEA leather cleaner. They sell a combined pack. And once we put the leather cleaner on, here you can see the wipe and wash on the right hand side. Once we put the cleaner on, that then evaporates out, and then we started with the conditioning cream, and 4 goes with the conditioning cream on each side, and then started to put some patches in underneath some of the holes. Here you can see one of the holes from the surface where I've put a patch behind it, and this is another patch going down around the zip area where there was a crack. And once the patch was in place, I've then used some gel super glue to glue the face of the repairs together. Not everything was successful here, but it's certainly good enough for this particular outcome. Really pleased with the way this crack cleaned up. You can hardly see it at all. Also around the lift studs or the corners, there's a bit of wear here, and the glue has really helped to hold this down. This is the glue that I was using, and it just seemed to go on pretty well and provide some good strength in place. Alright, so after completing all of that, I then needed to start tackling the zip where the thread had come apart, and you can see here that the cover itself is looking really nice at this stage. But yeah, time to start focusing on the zip, and that involved doing some beeswax on the zip to actually make the zip itself work better, but also focusing on restitching the zip into position. But yeah, these repairs, I'm really quite pleased with the way they came good. That'll certainly get a little bit more life out of this tonneau. And if you go back to see the photographs of the original, you'll be quite amazed that this is actually the same item, I think. Yeah, a little bit of elbow grease, and it's really come good. So this is now where I'm about to start tackling restitching the zip. I'm using a rayon embroidery thread because it's really quite a quite a strong thread, and we get some good results with our embroidery machines using that thread. Not many thread breaks. Yeah, so hand sewing, and there's a little split on the right hand side of the zip which I've sewn together here. You can't hardly see, I've reused the existing penetrations in the vinyl and stitched over using a bean stitch. So I'm pretty happy with the way that progressed. So then I continued to the other side. As you can see here, it's still there, and the material itself isn't worn, it was just the stitching itself that split. Pulling out some of the loose threads here before starting to stitch it together. And now I ran out of thread on the first pass, so I managed to get a fairly good length sewn together, as you can see here. But I had to rethread and start again. But again, reusing the original holes and doing a bean stitch meant that it was really coming together quite well, and will certainly be good enough for what I'm trying to achieve. I've got to do a bit more reinforcement around that end there, just to make sure it's all good. Here's the beeswax to make the zip work, and this is the finished result. How good does that look? I'm really amazed at how well this came out. Yeah, have a look at the before and after photos and you'll see it's just absolutely crazy good. Anyway, thanks heaps for watching. Day 8, day 9 now done. I'm going to be really running out of time to get much else done, so next step will basically be to put a bit of red on that back quarter panel and off we go. Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe.